Mall opened today as the state's 5th mass vaccination site for COVID-19 shots. And here to answer your questions is Dr. Sharon Wright, Senior Medical Director of Infection Control and Hospital Epidemiology at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So this new site will vaccinate hundreds of people a day before increasing to 3,000. Do you think we're rolling out these doses fast enough? Do you have any concern about the pace right now?
I think as with everything with COVID for the last year, we're always trying to catch up a little bit because this is all new for us. And so we're doing the best that we can. I do think that the U.S. as a whole needs to improve the pace at which vaccine is getting produced and getting out and in people's arms, but at the same time, keeping an eye on equitable distribution so that we make sure that people who come from the hardest hit areas that have socially vulnerable populations and patients with high-risk conditions are really getting to the head of the line.
To that point, the FDA meets this Friday to consider whether to authorize the Johnson & Johnson vaccine for emergency use. What do you think are the most important questions the committee needs to ask about this?
The advisory committee to the FDA is really doing the same thing they would do for any drug or vaccine. That part of the process really hasn't changed, and they're taking a hard look at all of the safety and efficacy data that's submitted by each company, this time Johnson & Johnson, and making sure that it meets the standards necessary to administer to the U.S. population, and especially paying attention to if there are specific populations for which it would or would not be safe to administer.
I want to switch gears and talk about cases now. We've seen the number of new COVID cases, hospitalizations falling steadily, not just here, but really also across the country. Is there any evidence yet that COVID could be a seasonal virus, that it gets weaker in the spring, say like the flu does?
I think that it's probably still too early to tell. So with influenza, at least in places like in Massachusetts that have winter months, we know that influenza does not survive as well in warmer, more humid temperatures. But that's not true in all parts of the world. And I think we saw H1N1 first come out in the spring. So I think we still have to pay attention both to the variants that develop and how the course of COVID goes. Things are definitely getting better, but we're not out of the woods yet.
Still so much to learn. Today, the U.S. recorded 500,000 deaths from COVID. It's staggering. What's the lesson that you take from that milestone?
It's, as you said, it is staggering, and it's something that I don't think that we could have imagined a year ago when this all started. And it's a bit of a paradox because I don't think we would have thought that there would be this many complications and this many people who suffered and passed away from COVID-19. But at the same time, we have to hold in our heads that there's hope. And so we need to really keep going on, moving forward, following all those preventative measures. And when vaccine is offered to each of us, we really need to step up and accept it as long as our clinicians feel that it's safe. And hopefully we'll be able to keep pushing this in the right direction.
Yeah. All right, Dr. Sharon Wright, thank you so much for your insight and your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.